You're listening to Double Time, your daily accessible technology show. Now, here's your hosts, Stephen Scott and Shaun Preece.
Oh, hello, Shaun Preece. How are you this fine Wednesday, the humpy part of the week?
I am great, thank you, Stephen Scott. Sorry, you slightly threw me there. You rolled your R's and then said humpy part of the week. I'm great. How are you?
I am, as always, wonderful. Wunderbar.
I don't believe you somehow in that tone.
What? You think I'm lying?
Yeah, you sound a little bit insincere, but we'll go with it. It's fine. It's Wednesday.
What, you really want to know what's going on? Okay, fine, I'll tell you. I've got a foot infection. I have an infection in my foot.
What have you done? How did you do that? Did you step on something?
No, so here's the thing. I didn't get my toenails cut as regularly as I should have.
Okay, very gross. Are you sure you want to go here?
People, I feel like they need to open up to people.
Hello,
tell
double
people
tappers.
the truth.
You're part of our family. Carry on.
Exactly. You have to live with a family. You have to learn about horrible medical conditions. That's right. So what happened was I had to go to a podiatrist. They deal with feet.
Hang on. What's a chiropodist?
I don't know.
What's a chiropractor?
That's to do with your back. I know that one.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
That's for the back.
So basically, you got manky toenails and it giving you a foot infection.
No. It's just one. What happened was that my toenail was long, and so what happened was it pushed against my cuticles, and it got a little bit dislodged.
Right, that's it. I feel bilious. Let's move on. I hope your foot gets better soon, Stephen Scott.
Thank you. I'm taking tablets.
Oh dear, that's terrible. How could you walk? When we were in London, was this happening?
I didn't feel anything. Yeah, it was happening all the time. Yeah, it does. It does. I've learned a very valuable lesson out of this, which is to get my toenails cut at least every 6 months.
Yeah, well done. Yes, I can't reach mine either. Well done, Stephen Scott. Well, I've got to say,
I didn't want to go there, but yes, that's another story.
We're both in the wars because I bent down to pick something off, which I wiped off the kitchen worktop day before.
Well done.
And of course, bent down to pick it up. My glasses fell off my face.
Oh, no.
That's all right. It's okay. I'll pick them up in a second. I picked up the thing that I wiped off, went back down to pick up my glasses, and of course, banged my head straight off the corner of the worktop, the typical thing. And I just spent the next 10 minutes swearing at the kitchen, which was fun. So, yeah, I've got a big mark on the middle of my face, and you've got a dodgy foot.
Yeah.
Welcome to Double Tap.
Quite a bit. And it's funny, actually, the doctor, I went down to the doctor yesterday. I know, outside. Shocking, I know. That was a trial and tribulation all by itself because, of course, yesterday here in the UK, we just had a massive amount of cold air leading to ice everywhere. Ice, of course, the blind man or woman's nemesis. And, yes, especially Shaun's nemesis. Let's not remember that fateful February, but yes. We had this horrible dumping of, it wasn't even snow, it was just cold weather, and I guess it just fell and turned into ice.
Just frozen rain.
Frozen
kind
rain.
Of snow, but okay.
Kind of snow. The best you're going to get in today's climate. And so I thought, right, okay, I'll head down. So I got a taxi down to the doctor's office, managed to get there and survive, and that was good. And the doctor says to me, so your feet are quite bruised. Do you kick things regularly? And I've never really thought about it before, but I guess I do. I do kick them because, I don't know, do you do that thing where you kind of shuffle around with your feet and you kind of kick your way around the
Dancing.
house?
Like a can girl. No, not usually. I must say, I do have blind man shins. I mean, they are.
That's another thing, yeah.
Coffee table, many years of coffee table hittage has taken its toll, yes. So you got bruised feet and infected feet.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah, nice one, as I say.
About my belly button.
Please, let's move on. Oh, wow. Waffle.
Be taken away by an ambulance at the end of this show, I think, at this rate. But anyway, yes, it's all right. Trained medical professionals are on standby. Everything is fine. Of course, it is the NHS in the UK, so I'll be dead in weeks.
Anyway, this is a tech show. Honest.
Is it? Oh, yeah. I vaguely remember that. Look, we might actually talk some tech today, and believe it or not, we're going to be talking to Adi Kushner. Remember Adi Kushner? He's the guy from Access Mind. We got a chance to catch up with him. Well, you did, actually. You got a conversation with him. at Slight Village when we were there in London, and it was great to catch up with Adi, but also nice to meet him in person, right? He's a great guy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's got a lot to say, and he says it so well. And plus, we got hands-on, Stephen Scott.
I got to touch the Optima.
You did? Yes, I was just going to clarify, not with Adi, but we got hands-on with the Optima and the...
And Adi.
I believe the Orbit, was it Q40 or Q20?
Yeah,
we got to feel.
Yeah.
Very nice. We were, the speakers. I was so impressed with the Optima and the Q40. Actually, very nice feeling devices.
I think my first impression was it exists, which was kind of amazing.
Your first impression was open the bag, throw it in,
get this in. let's get this entire table emptied into this bag. So in my hand right now, I've actually got the Mantis Q40, which is the QWERTY keyboard with the 40-cell Braille display. I've got to say the Optima is almost identical to this in terms of size. Maybe a little bit thicker and certainly a little bit heavier, but not that heavy. Considering the Optima Braille laptop, if you don't know, it is basically a Windows laptop inside a case like this, which doesn't have a screen, but it does have ports on the back. So it's got like an HDMI and it's got USBs and things like that. But it, considering all of that, I thought it would be much bigger, much heavier. And I think we're still at the prototype stage a little bit. I think Adi's, obviously there's a lot going on.
Yes. With
what's been happening with Adi's based in Israel. And of course, well, we know what's going on. In fact, we had Adi on recently talking about that and being quite open and honest about the whole situation there and how it's impacted on him. And of course, the reality is that, as much as we as blind people want this technology to come out and we all want to see this, there's kind of bigger fish to fry at the moment going on at the moment. So, it's
real life gets in the way. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, there's a lot of stuff going on. But the main thing is that the project is still ongoing. We're going to get an update from him today because that's what the interview was all about. It was about, getting a chance to play with the products, but also to learn where we're at with the Optima. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to hear an interview that you did with, you did all the work down there. It was great. I did nothing. I just sat around having coffee. It was fantastic. Sean's interviewing someone else. Okay, I'll just sit over here. But yeah,
you were mingling. You were
I
the
was
social
mingling.
Side. Yes,
that's right. I was networking. I think that's what they call it. That's the official term for gossiping about other podcasts. But yeah, we also had a chance to learn about a product called SevaVision or SevaVision. I'm not entirely convinced in the way I'm pronouncing that if it's correct, but it's an acronym, I think. But it's a company which has developed a pair of augmented reality glasses. Is that right?
Yeah, these were a total surprise to me, or at least they were different from what I was expecting. I was expecting something similar to the Metas or the Celeste, basically glasses with speakers and a camera in. But actually they're more than that because, they do have the display in as well. So think of a mashup between something like smart audio glasses and something like the eSight. So for low vision users as well, if you want a higher contrast of the real world, these can help. Yeah, these are very interesting.
Yeah, lots of people having interest in this. I mean, it's another area because, of course, we're kind of seeing this a little bit with Project Orion from Facebook and Meta. You can kind of see how this technology is being developed, but it's great to see ideas like this forming out of, accessibility, and giving blind people a chance to, get some use out of augmented reality. Because I think we tend to think, I don't know about you, but I tend to think, look, all I want is a pair of regular glasses that has a camera in them. It's got the speakers, it's got the microphones, just like the Meta Ray-Bans. What would augmented reality do for us? But I think it's less about the augmented reality in terms of vision and more about that spatial awareness. And, if we can get information back from that, like surroundings, mapping, all on the glasses, that's kind of the next step for us. Because what's the biggest issue we have with Ira and even Be My Eye? Well, maybe not Be My Eye so much, but certainly with Ira. On the glasses, on Envision, and on Meta Ray-Bans, you don't have the GPS location. So an agent doesn't know where you are. If you're wearing the glasses, you have to be connected on a phone call.
Yes.
To be able to do the GPS. Now, that's the case on the Envision glasses. It's the same on the Meta Ray-Bans. Could AR possibly link the two together? Because I guess it would need to have those kind of tools in the glasses in order to work, right? I mean, it's going to have a compass in there, at least I would imagine. It's going to have accelerometers. Would it have GPS?
The whole thing is that in order to overlay digital information in the real world. They need to understand what actually is around them, what is making up the real world. So if they can do that, object recognition, when something's a flat plane like a tabletop or even a sidewalk, then if they can recognize that, then that can be obviously useful to us. It's just how the feedback is relayed to us. Obviously, we don't care about digital images being overlaid the real world so much. Although in saying that, as I mentioned earlier, I mean, I spent most of my life as a low vision person.
Mm-hmm.
And, I use magnification. So a pair of those glasses could have actually made a big difference to me, being able to, I don't know, with night blindness, maybe give me a little bit more light in the dark, and maybe, higher contrast, things like that, just high contrast outlines on anyone walking by. It could be very useful.
Well, I don't know if you ever tried them, but they had those glasses. They still do sell them. They still make them. The glasses for people who want to watch television. So, if you want to watch TV and you want some magnification, say you've got a small TV or a 40-inch TV, whatever, in the corner, you put these glasses on and you basically you're wearing magnifiers, and those can help you see the TV. Now, I've tried them.
Mm.
I tried them years ago, to be fair, and, they were pretty decent, actually. The problem is, of course, if you have a big TV, like a huge 75-inch TV, it doesn't work so well.
Who does? I nearly stopped you when you said if you got a small TV, 40-inch or something. I remember the days of 22-inch was the biggest.
I know. I used to have a 21-inch TV, and I thought it was amazing. It was huge at the time.
I had one of those black and white TVs built into your radio, which I thought was so cool at the time, probably about 2 inches screen. Yeah, but you're right. But the trouble is, of course, there's so many different types of vision, as we all know. Right, if you try and see, well, what can you see then? Well, it's not quite as simple as that. I've got a little bit of vision maybe in the top right corner and nowhere else, or right in the middle. Yeah,
what time is it? That's
exactly right.
Well.
Yeah. But I do think a lot of time we tend to dismiss, these augmented reality glasses. Well, I don't care about visuals, but actually there's more to it. The technology that makes that aspect of it possible can be useful to us.
That's what I just said.
Well, I was just agreeing with you then.
Thank you.
All right, God, just because you got a dodgy foot, don't get funny.
Well, I'm going to blame my mood on my dodgy foot. Actually, to be fair, toe, just one toe. Like, don't start a whole rumor about.
Sorry.
Like suddenly my whole foot is infected with some
infected
virus.
toe. There's the episode title.
COVID-24 coming soon. Don't want to see that sequel. Thank you very much.
Anyway, that interview coming up.
What about the toe? My doctor's conversation coming up next. Right, look, let's get to these.
Hey!
Email. We get email.
We get your email every day. Every
No
day,
singing.
Shaun.
Here's your mail today.
Emails.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, that was a quick fade out. What happened?
Well, I just faded out.
All
What's the
right, well,
problem?
calm down. Oh, you faded out, never said anything.
I don't know. Waiting for you.
Let's keep our production notes off the air. Okay, sorry, carry on.
Notes? I love when people ask me, so how do you plan the show? And I'm like, have you heard this show?
Yes.
What do you
It's
think
Wednesday.
this show is?
Got to say, it's a very casual recording today.
I'm kind of tired today, and that's a problem. I'm kind of still waiting. I've had like 3 coffees. Nothing's doing it. Nothing is doing it today.
It's
and
snow
I'm cold.
outside. I'm ready to hibernate, to be honest. I've actually got the heating on in the shed, and that's not good.
Yeah, well, no wonder. Because you're sitting in a wooden box
Yes.
in the cold. Is it not absolutely freezing in there?
Well, we're a hardy bunch up north of England, Stephen Scott.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm north of where, because I think I'm northerner than you.
Hello, Canada. Right, stop it now. We're not having a competition about who's more northern.
Okay, let's get first up from Dave, one of our listeners getting in touch.
Hi, Stephen, Shaun, and Laura. A while back, you were discussing avenues to buy and sell used access tech. One great resource I didn't hear mentioned is the blind ads, all one word. Email listserv@groups.io. It has been very useful for me. You also have been discussing the high prices of a lot of access technology. I think it is very unfair that blind people have to pay 10 to 20 times more than sighted people, particularly for Braille output. However, I'm not sure that this is the fault of companies like Vispera, Humanware, and HIMS. Orbit Research has tried selling Braille devices at lower prices, but the quality isn't necessarily there. Braille lines take longer to refresh and make more noise than HIMS or humanware displays. My major concern, however, is the absolute immorality of these access tech companies selling products whose best before dates have long passed, and in fact, these products are hardly useful anymore. The most recent example I can offer is the 32-cell Humanware Braille Note Touch Plus, running Android 8, which Humanware proudly advertise on its website for the unbelievably low price of $6,499 Canadian dollars. Regular price is $7,199 Canadian dollars. That is absurd, because many apps are no longer compatible with Android 8. Can you even imagine a sighted person paying that kind of money for an old phone or tablet running Android 8? Vispero did the same with its PackMate personal digital assistant it used to sell during the early 2000s. HIMS did the same with the BrailleSense U2 and the BrailleSense Plus. I'm worried that people with little knowledge about access tech solutions will buy for themselves, their staff, or their clients a device like the Braille Note Touch Plus and be in for a very nasty surprise. There has to be a way that this behaviour can be stopped. Dave from Elmira, Ontario.
Thank you, Dave. Well, I imagine that can of worms is spilling over as you speak, people responding to that, because that is a topic which, you and I, Shaun, have talked about many times. Cost, yes. But there is another side to it. Absolutely. The other side, which is the type of technology that's actually being sold and the age of the technology inside the tech we're buying.
It's also wishy-washy,
thing to bring up.
It is. Yeah, it was a great email there, Dave. Thank you. But, I mean, we say this, and we've had this discussion so many times, and we never come down really on an answer to it, or even really a side, because we say, oh, yeah, absolutely terrible it costs this much, and it makes it so inaccessible to the majority of us. But at the same time, we say, of course, we understand it's a small market, we understand the research, we understand the companies themselves need to make a profit, and they need to be a viable business. It's a really difficult, question to find an answer to, really, except what Dave brings up. I think he's absolutely right. The only sort of, excuse isn't the right word, but I can think of is, and we've spoken to Adi about this in the past as well, the amount of time since development and nailing down the final specs of a product and then actually getting out to market seems to be much longer in our world than it does in the mainstream world.
Yeah.
And it could be, hey, Android 8 was absolutely what was available when it was being, spec'd and designed. And it's took that long for it to get out. I think I'm pushing it a little bit because I still think that the technology and the hardware is still outdated. I absolutely agree with you, Dave. But I think that the production time is something that we got to factor in as well.
Well, I mean, I've never used a Braille Note Touch. I know how they operate because it's obviously using essentially an Android tablet inside. Why couldn't they make the tablet detachable? And then you could just buy a new tablet. You could upgrade your device more regularly at a low cost. You could maybe spend $50 to $100 on a tablet rather than having to buy a whole new piece of kit every single time because you've still got the base Braille display there. You could just dock in a new tablet. That, to me, would make a hell of a lot more sense than spending, another $5,000 whenever they come up with the latest edition.
Oh, no, I absolutely agree with you. And, of course, it's not just the hardware, though, as well. The tablet that they're using there, the OS that it's running has been highly adapted for whatever software they want to use, specific Braille software. So I guess the argument will be, well, we need to redevelop the software to make sure it runs on the latest Android.
Yeah, but today's point, though, that means that you're being restricted because there's certain things you will not be able to do on that tablet.
Which is absolutely true. Yeah,
that's the problem.
Exactly. But the specific software, the Braille focused software I working. So I guess the argument is, we don't really support the third-party apps, the things in the Play Store.
Your black and white TV still works, but you're not going to get much digital television out of it. You're not going to be able to watch satellite on it, But you're right. Absolutely, fundamentally, there is a snowy picture on the screen.
I am struggling to justify it, but I am just trying to look for the other side. But I absolutely agree with you.
And maybe that's part of it. You say there's no solution, and you're right. There generally is no solution to this. But maybe that is part of it. Maybe we look at it as more of a, maybe it's the only way we can do it, where we know that Braille displays, when they're built well, Humanware, Vespero, others, HIMS as well, have built very good, solid displays over the years. I think people would be comfortable buying a display that, costs a few £1,000, dollars, whatever, if they know they're going to get 10 years, maybe longer out of it. But then the hardware connected to it suddenly, becomes something you can interchange.
That's
the
very
Optima
true.
laptop is a good example of that again, because it's a framework design, so you can change elements of it as you go along. If you want to upgrade the processor, you can upgrade the hard drive. That's maybe the approach we need to have in our community. I do think, I don't blame companies, but I do think there's a little bit of complacency set in. There's a market there that they can tap into, that they can go to governments, they can go to education departments, they can get money, and they can just, essentially rinse and repeat with the next product. Again, I go back to this point about consumers. We're not thinking about consumers at that level. That's the issue. I mean, I'm seeing Humanware just now rightly proclaim wonderful things about the Monarch tablet.
Yes.
But I mean, have you seen the price of this thing?
Yeah.
And they talk about it like it's an off-the-shelf iPhone. And I'm like, I've seen people from Humanware, and of course it's their job to sell it, but, I'm like, they talk about it like it's just that, you want a Braille tablet? You can go buy one. Arguably, yes. I could also buy a Bentley if I wanted one. I just can't afford one.
Yeah.
So, it'll be the bus for me.
It's true. It is true. And look, it's easy as well to villainize these companies as well as being, these companies just, looking for profit and whatever else. I'm talking to these companies. I don't think that's the case.
That's not my feeling.
No, mine either. And it may have been at one point, but actually, when you talk to the people behind it, I don't think it is at all.
I mean, look, to be fair, if they don't make money, they don't survive. So, there's two sides to that, right? But I think the question is how much. And of course, we don't know the answer to this. We've heard all kinds of rumors flying around, but we don't know any facts around what actually it costs to make these devices versus the cost. But again, I go back to the point, the cost to me is designed for an enterprise solution, not a consumer. That's the issue for me. I think if they solve that issue, I think we might get, essentially the enterprise subsidizes the consumer model and they can still make money off it at the enterprise level. I think everybody wins. And also you get the product out to more people, which surely is a good thing. That's not going to happen to the Monarch yet. It's too big and new a device. It's going to take a lot of time for that to come down. I mean, look, I kind of akin it to, I suppose it's like, yes, I can buy, like today or the other day when we're looking at the Black Friday, some of the early sales, it's like you can buy an 85-inch TV now for $1,500. And you're like, I remember 2 years ago, if even that, that was costing, I had a zero on the end of that.
Yeah.
The price comes down with more people buying it. Now, the difference with our market is that the Monarch's not going to get that kind of traction. I hope people get access to it. I think kids would find this really useful. I think there's people in work who'll find this useful. But it's a niche within a niche within a niche. So how will you ever get that price down? I don't know. But, ultimately these things what I'm getting at is these things could drive a consumer cost, which is subsidized to a degree. Yeah. As long as the company can make money. Because every time I mention this, I get emails from people saying, oh, you want these companies to fail? And I don't want anyone to fail.
Of course not.
I want Humanware to thrive. Well. I want these companies to make more money. I don't care how much money they make. I'm a capitalist at heart. I want people to make money. God knows if you look at my Amazon account, you'll see how many things I buy. I think I keep prop them up pretty well. So, I want these companies to thrive. I want them to do well. But they have to be fair. And
a subsidized plan.
That's the bit that misses me. A subsidized plan, even
it's the thing we're coming up with every time, and this is a never-ending discussion. But that is
well. Hang on, you said there's no solution. We've come up with solutions.
Well,
so
I mean,
we are heroes.
Yeah, and to be fair, you came up with that idea, and I do agree. And it's a business model we've seen in other places. So I would love to talk to companies about that, see their thoughts on that.
Oh, you started it now, Dave. I feel awake now. Right, I'm ready to go a whole hour.
Thank you, Dave.
Let's just keep fighting. I'm all for it. No, let's keep this conversation going. I know that some would rather me shut up about it. I don't care about that. I have no desire to shut up about it. So, I think it's an important topic. I think it's very easy to fall into a trap. And it's also very easy to say things like, oh, the Monarch is great because it's, wonderful. Yeah, do you know what? It's not affordable to most people out there. So let's stop getting too excited about that and let's focus on actual Braille displays that people might be able to buy and making them more affordable. Let's start there. I think that's a bigger issue that needs to be resolved because having one Monarch for an entire country is probably not the best way for it to work.
Oh,
So,
hope the king isn't listening.
yeah,
Carry
sorry.
on.
Yes, I was talking about the Braille display, not the current incumbent in Buckingham Palace. Yes, I'm going to move on though, because let's move on to our interviews today, because we've got a couple to play you from SevaVision. First up, and this will be of interest to a lot of you, is the future of the Optima Braille Laptop. With us for that, we spoke to Adi Kushner from Access Mind. Shaun got a chance to catch up with him at SevaVision.
Okay, so we're at SevaVision London, and Double Tap has quite literally just bumped into Adi Kushner. Adi, how you doing, mate?
I'm fine, guys. Thanks for having me. It's always good to talk to you, and finally in person.
So, how are you doing? Things, obviously, in the world today have gone absolutely crazy. How are you doing in yourself? Is everything good?
Yeah, everything is all right. I mean, stuff is unpredictable. For instance, I did not know literally about yesterday evening if I'm taking off to the UK or not, but other than that, things are fine.
Good. Okay, so obviously we've had a lot of interest and a lot of people asking what's going on with the Optima. So can you give us any updates on that?
Yeah, so we made some progress, both on the development of the hardware and also software. In fact, we have private beta, internal beta testing going for these things already. You will start seeing some of our Optima related software released for general availability very soon. That includes our Braille editor, which is complete. That includes some other apps. We have already released our TTS component for people who use NVDA and want to have vocalizer. We are now the only de facto available vocalizer solution. So the product from Tiflotechnia and Code Factory has been retired, and the Tiflotechnia product is now basically our vocalizer version rebranded for them.
Okay.
So things are going, bits and pieces are coming out. The product itself, as all of you know, the situation in my country did not relax yet.
Yeah.
It continues getting worse actually, but I hope there is some hope for it to stop. So I hope we will progress towards release. In fact, what you're seeing in front of you is very, very, very close to final already. So the keyboard is final. The design of the controls is final.
Yep.
This will be exactly how the unit looks. It's drastically different compared to the prototypes we've shown before.
Okay.
Slimmer, lighter. So we're moving. I don't want to announce a date yet. Again, I would have loved to do it ages ago, but I don't want to lie to people.
Yes.
So whenever I can finalize the project for sure and have a date for availability to which I can commit, I'll happily do it.
Perfect.
But we're working.
Yeah, well, that's the main thing. Some things are beyond your control, right? But the project is still ongoing.
Of course. There are no plans to cancel the project. Don't worry about that. I mean, I have a very clear mission. Our industry needs this change of thinking desperately. Access Mind was born out of the need to design all of our products around mainstream, and Optima is not going to be the only product. The company was not born to make one product. It's just the start of it, and I'm not going to give up on that mission so easily, because if we will, our industry will stay years behind, because no one is interested in making changes. The current vendors are very happy with what they have, and somebody has to change the status quo. For instance, even the amazing devices that came out, like the multi-line Braille displays, and the particularly the ones that can display graphics without naming anyone in particular, all of them are great. But you know, at the end, for me, it doesn't matter. The reason why it doesn't matter is that it does not reach to the hands of most customers, because it's unpayable. These products are released primarily to be funded by government, and that's unfair. So until the only way to change it is to make everything mainstream based and to increase the value. So this is what we're here for. The delays are beyond our control. Nobody expected a war to start.
That's right.
But we are working, and we are here to stay, just waiting for the things to relax.
Fantastic. So you actually have an Optima here, right, in front of me here?
Yes, it's in front of you. Yes, there we go.
I've got it. Yeah. So it's very nice. It's very compact feeling. It almost feels like a bit like Stephen's Mantis Q40, but
Yeah, just a bit thicker.
just a little bit thicker. But again, we've got a full computer in here, full PC, and the Braille display at the bottom there feels very nice.
And in my opinion, the keyboard is much nicer.
Oh,
But,
okay, controversial, but okay.
Controversial. I agree.
No, it feels very
we,
nice.
We listened to feedback about the keyboard. Most of the customers preferred the slightly concaved key shape.
Oh yeah, I
So
didn't
we
notice.
went with that.
Yeah.
As you can see, we have the inverted T arrows, so nothing is non-standard. It's very easy to convenient It's very convenient to locate, to identify. We also have clear dot markings on the function keys, like F4, F8, so you can
Oh
see
yeah,
where
yeah.
the groups of keys change. So we really tried to implement everything that we have been asked for. Thumb keys are implemented, the most popular request we've got.
Yes.
And the buttons on the side of each on each side of the Braille line have
Yep.
been changed from a rocker to 3 buttons that can be assigned to perform various functions.
Oh, cool.
So, and also the fingerprint reader has been added, and many things. So we have changed a lot based on feedback. This is why it was important for me to start showing it early in order to get feedback. You know,
Yeah.
most vendors get very limited feedback. It's important for me that the users will be involved with the development of the product, because we are making it for ourselves, you know, so we need to make sure that it meets our needs.
Yeah, well, as I said, there's been so much, you know yourself, so much interest in this. There's a real need, a real want for this kind of device, and we haven't seen anything like it yet. So, yeah, I wish you luck with actually getting it out there. That's
Thank you.
the thing. So, what else have you got on show today?
We have all the Orbit research products, so we have the Orbit Speak.
Yes, which I'm actually clutching in my hand here. It's very, it's a very dainty little thing. It's very nice in a little case here. Can you,
It's a turtleback
can you
case. I
demo
think
it at all?
Is it on? Let me check. Yes. You can use the arrow keys to browse the menu.
Whoop,
And-
nearly dropped it.
I don't know
Thank you.
I don't know if you can hear the speech in such a loud environment, but you have vocalizer Samantha going on here at the moment, and you can review the apps.
Ah, yes. I can just about hear it. I think over the
Yes.
noise. It's very busy here.
It's very busy, but
So is this actually available now
yes, the
to
Orbit
purchase,
Speak
yeah?
is available in the UK from Computer Room Services. Also, Aspire Consultancy carries Orbit products now. So this can be purchased, you can order it, and things are going quite well with that product. Also, just to be for transparency and full disclosure purposes, I also recently joined Orbit in
Right.
order to manage the product development of the Braille products there to help get things better.
Ah,
So
that's interesting.
I am now involved in both capacities. I'm saying that, you know, to be fully transparent with people.
Yeah.
We're actually working on some big stuff going forward, but I hope that the Orbit Speak experience will be refined and improved as a result of everybody's efforts. And
Seems like a very
also
nice
feedback.
device.
We also have the QWERTY Orbit readers, the 20 and 40. If you want, I can show you. But
Oh, yes, please.
so I'm giving you the 20 now.
Wow. Okay, the first thing that hits me is how light it is.
Yes,
That's
it is
so
super light. Same keyboard is for the Optima. We said, okay, if people like it, why not to use it everywhere?
Yeah.
So,
So this is the. Well, actually, why don't you give me a quick summary of what this is?
yeah, it is basically a standard Braille display that has the same features as the typical Orbit Reader 40. So the editor, calendar, calculator, but its primary function is to be connected to a PC or a smartphone. So
Right.
similar to the Mantis in a way, lower cost and a bit of a different function set.
Yeah, it feels very nice. I've got to say, I'm quite surprised. So what's the price on this one?
Not sure about the UK pricing exactly. In the US, it's $999.
And that's with the 20
Yes,
20
and the
cell.
40 is $18.99.
Wow. Okay, and these available now?
Yes.
And what's the supply like on these? Is there a wait, or
No.
if
these
someone was
are
to order
available
these
to
now,
ship.
they would get them?
Yeah. These are available to ship, so you can go
Fantastic.
ahead and do it.
Excellent. Okay. Well.
This does not depend on anything
Yeah.
Israel related.
Yeah. Of
So
course.
this is fully.
Well, as I said, there's so much interest in the Optima, so I wish you luck with that. And
Thank you.
we can't wait to see it.
I can't wait either. I want people to have it. This has been the dream of many for a while, and we're here to make it happen. So,
Thank you, Adi.
thank you.
Great to hear from Adi Kushner there, of course, from Access Mind, giving us a little bit of a glimpse into the future of what's going on with the Optima laptop, but also the other products that he's now involved with as well. He seems to be more involved with Orbit research based on what he's saying there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always great to talk to Adi. I think he's such an interesting person. And also, I've got to say, I was quite surprised by the Optima. I thought,
Yeah.
the size of it and having felt the Mantis as well, I thought they were very similar. I was expecting a traditional laptop, I'll be honest with you, maybe with a blanked off screen, empty space where the screen should be. But it wasn't.
IKEA laptop.
Yeah. Well, basically, that is exactly what I was expecting, but it wasn't. And it was just very nice.
Yeah, I'm also intrigued to see that when it comes out. That's one thing I probably would be, because I mean, it's like it just takes your, like I've got the Mantis here, and it would just make that so powerful.
Well,
an
you've got
amazing little laptop.
That lovely sort of form factor of the Mantis, but with a fully fledged Windows PC. And going back to Dave's email, with cutting edge, well, up to date. Let's even put it that way. Up to date hardware inside. Again, sticky point being the price.
Yeah. Okay, well, we shall see. But anyway, good to hear from Adi, and you can find out more, of course, with Access Mind and Orbit Research. Just visit their respective websites. Now, let's move on to a company called Seva that you got a chance to catch up with. This is all around the subject of augmented reality glasses. Shaun learned more about this rather interesting company.
Okay, so we're still here at Sight Village London, and I'm here with Manny from Purview, and we're going to talk about the, how do you say it again? Seva glasses. So, okay, tell me more about them.
Well, Seva, first let me define what Seva is, because it comes from, since my roots are from India, and Seva means selfless service for greater divine, for the community. And it's happened I met two of my very nice colleagues, and we wanted to do something bigger than from where we want to do it. So being a technologies and 30-year industry, we decided to make AI workable on wearables for the inclusivity part of the business.
Yeah.
And this is where we started developing certain solution, which we call it explore, experience, empower. So Seva gives an individual an explore abilities to go out in the world, to connect, to recognize friends and family, to find the objects which is in personal domain, to navigate, describe the scene. They can experience, the second power is experience, which is all about reading. They can do the reading, a handwritten note or orientation note. They can talk to the chat GPT right on the glasses, no bound to the mobile phones. They can listen to music and finally, empowerment. It's very important. Finally, it's a ability that might require empowerment for their communities to reach out. So they can send an SOS at any demand. They can do the digital magnification of the things they want to see. So our product is from low vision to blindness. It's not just blind. Because for us, it's a journey. It's not one day a certain person become a blind. We want to be the partner in that journey and provide the abilities.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So let's get into a bit of detail. So what do these glasses actually offer in practical terms? So you talked about AI there. There's ChatGPT integration.
Yes, so if you can look around, they have taken out the banner, but there are 10 features that we have released in this first release. Four features are about connecting to the outside world, which is all about explore, navigation, describe the scenes around you. You can record the faces of your family members and friends, so it can start recognizing when they come in front of you, and you can find the objects with distance and direction. So we are different from that big coast, meta versions, I should say, because that's a public AI. We do the personalized AI by measuring an AI with the camera glasses triangulation. So that way, any person who is wearing the glass know how much distance away is certain things, in fits, and in which direction.
And that's just using the camera, no LiDAR or anything like that?
No, absolutely not. That's the good part, because the entire thing is it's a mathematical triangulation on top of the AI. And that's why personalization comes in terms of distance, direction, in terms of the faces they want to remember. That's why we are calling it personalized AI, not like a commercial AI. That's what makes us unique. And secondly thing is, because we are using augmented reality glasses, we can magnify the things, and that's a great art. So it's not about a person who doesn't see, it's all about person who are struggling to see. So if their vision is changing daytime, they can actually do 2x, 3x zoom, whatever they want, and they can still do that. So it's a solution beyond optical lenses corrections and do that.
Right, so these have, instead of lenses, they have an actual screen?
Yes, they have inbuilt augmented reality glasses. These are not Ray-Ban, which is just like a listening thing.
Yeah.
I should not be talking about the competitor, but fundamentally those are smart glasses. What we are is smart AR glasses.
I got you. Okay. So let's talk about what the glasses can do. There's magnification. Is there also high contrast, invert modes, and things like that for vision?
Absolutely. They can be controlled by the voice or the gesture. We gesture through the touchpad. So the side of the glasses, you can swipe through. And I think more than me, I think you should ask the experience. I'm a technologist. I created something.
Yeah.
But everyone has an individual use. So, let me pass on to Gao, who is the head of staff at a restaurant called Dining in the Dark. And that's where he has been kind of a journey on us.
Okay.
And second is Clark. Clark is a very famous Braille artist in UK. He has been using for the visual arts, how he's describing seeing without seeing. So let me first ask this question, how they are experiencing my product into the real life.
Perfect.
So now over to you.
Hi, Shaun.
Hi, mate.
Basically, I'm using this glass about last 8 to 12 months now. And initially, it was very good, and it will tell me the face recognition. For example, if I take a picture of my family members, like mom or wife or my nephews, or my brother or my brother's girlfriend, when I take the picture and send it to the team, and they upload it in the Blade. That's going to be called Blade. And when I fronted them, now they're front of me, they will tell me who's front of me and smiling, different kind of facial recognition anyway. And when I'm out and about, I use a glass, it will tell me navigation. Instead of taking my phone out, using the other products, I use this glass, it will tell me on the left-hand side, bus stop, on the right-hand side is a bus coming. You can take a picture of the bus number, it will tell you what number bus and how many steps front of you. That's the navigation side of things.
Yeah.
And also object detection. If I take a picture of the table, what is on the table, it will tell me front of you the glass of water or glass front of you. So it'll tell you clockwise, anti-clockwise, and a few steps. And when you take a picture of the computer desk, it will tell you Braille display front of you, headphone hanging on the monitor. Be careful when you're dealing with the keyboard.
Wow, okay. So it's giving you all that description, and that's through the AI, right?
Yeah.
Personalized AI. I wish to say
Sorry, I've got to say it. Personalized
Yeah.
AI. So what's the battery life on those? You mentioned when you were out and about and using them while you're navigating outside.
I'm using the basic one, the Blade. Its only battery life is 1 hour.
Yeah.
I got a power bank I can connect to the straight away, and also it worked on you can do a hotspot to Wi-Fi. It'll work on it and it'll update the system anyway.
So are these self-powered or do they require the smartphone?
Self-powered.
They're self-powered, so these are standalone.
Yeah, these are Android devices fully. Processors, 6 GB RAM, memory of 32 GB. You know, these are industrial products.
Yeah.
We actually were using them for aircraft inspections or MROs or quality inspections. We just for us in the real world there are a lot of blind spots. But then we realized for a blind person, the world is blind spot, you know. So from a technologist perspective, for me, for us to develop it's a shift of training of the modules rather than creating something new. So that's how. So whatever we are giving is a proven industrial products, which has been there in industry for last 10 years, you know, and providing them into the personal space of the people now. Let me hand over to Clark.
So for me, obviously, I'm not technological minded. I am literally a technophobe. So these glasses are going to be something that I've been missing for the last 10 years, which is to be part of a visual environment. I'm a professional artist. You know, when I go to these events with all the art on the wall, and everyone's got a champagne, and they're all talking about the art, I'm just a blind guy with a white cane trying to overhear, basically.
Yeah.
But now, I've had it for only a month and it's blown me away. I've gone to exhibitions, I've clicked the side of my head as if I've got a thought, and it's describing the art not as a patronising way, as an emotive. I'm getting emotion from the art, and it literally it makes me smile every time I click those glasses, and it tells me a story.
Wow. So have you got any vision at all, Clark?
So my vision is 5 degrees. It's like looking underwater. So I have no idea. I know you're quite tall, so I can make out it's like you're looking like a Lowry person in a Lowry painting.
Oh, that's exactly how I look.
Yeah, perfect. So I know you're quite tall. So this misconception, obviously, blindness is really, the idea, oh, you're blind, you can't do this, you can't do that. Especially as a blind artist, I get it all the time.
Yeah.
Right? But the idea is we don't see with our eyes, we see with our brain. Now, I've got 40 years experience of seeing, so I know what a tall person looks like through a shadow.
Yeah.
So it's like looking underwater. So sometimes I see light, dark, shadow. I work with colour. I love colour. But these glasses now, I can go to events and I can literally click on it. And it's like if I went to Tate Modern now, and I've not been told like, oh, this is a piece of art. It's 2 meters by 3 meters, and it's got a layer of sun in the right hand corner. Blah 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 blah. Really boring. Now I can click on it, and it gives me this kind of like other world that your eyes miss out on. And like a sighted person would miss out on certain things. So I was at an exhibition with this steel sculpture, and because it's by the light, it described how the light was hitting the steel.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
It puts that image in someone's head, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So these glasses are not just for the blind community. I want these glasses for everyone. The idea that you can walk around, go to a museum or an art gallery, you see something that you might have missed.
Yeah. And it gives you some emotion to an image, or
it does. And the words are used. So literally, I was at a school the other day. I go to schools and I teach Braille, and it knew I was in assembly. It described it as an educational environment, and it told me that all the children are very attentive because they were all looking at me.
Yeah.
And what a great way! So I knew that I was doing my job right as an educator. That
they weren't yawning,
or they weren't yawning. So, but and it made me smile. So we even tested it out. I've taken the same image twice, but one of the children hid in the peripheral vision. Right? The glasses said some other stuff, and then at the end it said, "By the way, there's a child hiding behind the desk." And you're laughing, and I laugh because it shouldn't do that, should it?
No, exactly. Yeah, it's those sort of things that makes us surprised by AI, and exactly.
Makes it human, and you want a human experience. The idea that I'm now seeing something that the eyes would just glaze over.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's amazing.
And that was the underlying message to us. We always talked about that AI, and this is one of the things which we discussed. AI is here to complement human abilities, not to compete with them.
Yes.
And if we do that right, then AI can be the bridge for many people who are not born equal with the abilities. So we need to think about how to embrace technology in the right way. So this is our attempt, to bring abilities and AI together and create a bridge around it.
Well, I think you've done more than that. I think this is more than AI, because we're seeing lots of wearables with AI coming about, some sticking around, some not. But you've also crossed the bridge between the augmented reality with the virtual reality headset and the smart wearables as well.
Actually, I was telling to the hardware manufacturer that we are converting your industrial product into a consumer product, which they never thought about.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we are now very clear that, this is only the phase one, because we now are fully dedicated. We started from the industries, but now we are in the inclusivity. And we know that using a combination of AI and XR, which is nothing extended reality, we can actually create solution for people who can't see, who can't hear, or who can't speak.
Yeah.
And that's where, our journey has begun. This is the first attempt for us to be in front of the public here with my two big gentlemen here who have tasted it and being with patients to be part of this journey. So much gratitude to them.
Sounds fantastic. So if people want to find out more, are these available now? Or?
Yeah, they're available now. You can buy them straight away. There are two models. One is 1 hour battery life with one camera with 120-degree field of view is around 1995. And the other one, which is titanium built 6-hour battery.
Wow.
That's the one for 2995. And we are working with the manufacturer to see how we can further advance, reduce the cost so that it can be a mass product.
Amazing.
And also, just letting you know, Shaun.
Yeah.
The software support is 2 years guarantee, and if you got 2 years, 1.5 years guarantee, manufacturer guarantee. So.
Oh, right. And is there a subscription cost with this?
No, so we this is a purpose beyond profit. That's what I say. We happen to be in this industry because we want to do it. So our idea is very clear and our purpose is very clear. Let's create the right software and give it. For once you buy the software, there's no subscription. We want to create community support, not a professional contact center support.
Yeah.
We want to dismantle that idea and make the technology accessible to everyone who is in need of it.
Right.
And all I've got to say is, obviously, I don't like technology. Technology is my hand as an artist, right? But the idea, and also I used to wear dark glasses all the time. So people have told me in the last month, it's really lovely to see your eyes. As a blind person, it's really hard to not show people your eyes because you don't want to look blind.
Yeah.
So it's been a real eye-opener on that. And all I've got to do is plug in, and it's going to, evolve. And that's what it's got to do. So not like, some technologies, the idea that you buy something and 3 months down the line it's like obsolete,
Yeah.
These, you plug in, and I'll get an upgrade, just like you would an upgrade on your phone.
Yeah. And as AI evolves, so does this.
Exactly, and but they look cool as well, don't they?
Oh, there you go. They look cool.
They look
I think
cool.
that's all we need to know. Okay, so if anyone wants to find out more, is there a website?
Yeah, SevaVision.com. They can come to that. So they can www.sevavision.com.
Can you spell that?
SevaVision.com.
That's perfect. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So there's an interesting idea, Shaun. What did you think? Because you were quite surprised during that, because I think you, like I, thought this was another Meta Ray-Ban style glass option, but it's not.
No, it's got a lot more in it. I was quite surprised because I kind of heard rumors of what the price point was. And, we're sort of used to those prices. Seems to be the theme of today's show. Yes. But the fact that it had the augmented display in there as well, I thought, actually, that's not a bad price for what's in there. Of course, with all of this stuff, everything we talk about when it comes to wearables, it's all sounding great. And it's not until you actually try it out that you know. Always the potential, that word again, comes up. And it sounds like it could be incredibly useful. But honestly, until we try these out, we don't know. But yeah, a very interesting company, I've got to say. And they were very enthusiastic. Everyone around the booth there, everyone I spoke to were very enthusiastic about this.
Yeah, and of course we heard from the blind artist Clark Reynolds as well.
Yeah.
He's very well known in the UK for his work, and interesting to hear his take on all this kind of stuff as well. I think it's about, for him, it's clearly about giving him, I always hate to hear the phrase restore vision, but you know what I mean? It's kind of like utilizing the vision that he has, which I think is much, it's not as clean as restoring vision, but it is more accurate.
Look, anytime we've used any of this tech, be it the Meta Ray-Bans or Celeste or whatever it is, or even just, an app on your phone, and you use it that one time and it makes you feel like, oh, I can participate in this. I can get a description of this image that actually makes me feel like I understand it. I can take part in conversations about it. that is a big deal. It is a bit of an epiphany, isn't it, to us?
Ooh.
So I know.
Wow.
So I totally understand. It's just how many, how useful and how many other features has it got? But it's so many exciting developments in wearables at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to get into more talk on, well, not so much wearables, but smart assistants tomorrow, because David Ward is with us from the Echo Tips podcast. He's, of course, known for his Next Level podcast as well, which is fantastic to listen to. I was on it as well.
Were you?
I was. I was invited on, and I had
I was
no
as
idea.
well.
I was. I don't know why I was asked on, because I know nothing.
Well, it was. There's so many clever people on there. I felt a little bit out of place.
Maybe that's why they asked us, because they felt like they had to balance it up.
Yes.
We had really smart, clever people, and then we need some kind of idiots over here to kind of just help, get the balance just right.
Yes, it was very good though. David is fantastic.
Well, he's with us tomorrow to talk about the future of Lady A, because there's lots of question marks around what the future is. We'll dig into that tomorrow with him, and some interesting news about Gemini as well. Plus, good luck to everyone today on the Jaws Next Big Thing event. We'll be looking forward to hearing all about the winner. I know.
Already?
Winner being announced today. So we'll
put my entry in yet.
Yeah, we're going to be talking to Ryan Jones and Matt Ater
Or
from
thought of an
Vespero
idea.
very, very soon on the show. But that's it for us. We're out of time. We'll catch you next time on Double Tap. Thanks, Sean.
Thank you. Bye-bye.